Hi, my name is Nire Tabor. I just finished my senior project at Lithonia High School, and my controversial topic is, should the government be held responsible for homeless children? I chose the government should be held responsible for homeless children, and there were a lot of pros and cons that I discovered once I did my research on it, because I found out that Georgia is ranked 49th in the nation due to child homelessness, and 1.5 million children experience homelessness in our nation each year. I also realized that 23,337 of the homeless children in our nation are under the age of 6 and below. If you are homeless, it can open up many doors that should not be open, I should say. It can expose the children to many things such as prostitution, drug abuse, child abuse, and a lot of diseases. Molestation, and a lot of other diseases that are here in America. When children are being homeless and on the street, it kind of forces them to do whatever is necessary to take care of them and their families.
Nire, well, I'd like to ask you a question about the government or our churches. Should the churches take some of the responsibility away from our government?
Yes, it is in the Bible that, they say go in the highways and the byways, and that I forgot what scripture it was, but it is in the Bible that says how we're supposed to be able to do the community. But I also feel as if our rights and everything like that, and our governments being our leaders, they should be wanting to lead by example as well. Like, they're put in place to make sure that we're okay and provide for us. And I feel that a lot of times they show advertisement on TV, only $1 a day will keep this child off the streets. Over there in other countries like continents in Africa and other countries and everything, when we have children right here in our local community that are homeless and needs help. And I feel like that churches should step up and take care of the homeless children, but the government should as well. Like, we should all come together and do it as a community, because that's what a community is, helping out one another. And that's why the quote that I used for my project was, get yourself out and reach back and get somebody else out.
Well, now, Nire, I want to ask the question, do you think that there is so much homelessness amongst the children that we need to reach further than even our government and our churches and start to reach out and help the mothers and the fathers before the children get to that place? Would you think that there is something that we ought to be doing with so many of our men that are incarcerated, which forces a mother to be a single parent and with her children? Do you think our government should start to do a mentoring program with the men that are incarcerated, so when they are returned home, they can be responsible fathers to their children?
I do feel like that the government should start a mentoring program with the men in today's society and everything like that. But a lot of times, there's some homeless children that are homeless because their families cannot survive. And there's like in California, I read a story online on one of the sites, and it was saying how in California there are men and their families that are sleeping on benches and in cars and everything like that in California because they can't provide enough money to pay for the rent because of the high prices.
And I can speak volumes to that. There are many people in California that are working and are making $15 and $20 an hour, but cannot afford the housing in California. California is a whole different state of mind, because people do live under tents and all of that, and it becomes a community in California. But right here in Atlanta, where we have so much homelessness in Atlanta, we have so many children that are bound in hotel living that never gets to live in a home, but are being raised in our motels. And I think some of the things that is wrong with that is we need to do something about the credit scores of people who have fell on hard time. Those people that are working people, good people that are living in the hotels, they are not living there because they are addicts and because they are lazy. They are living there because they have poor credit scores. What is your suggestion that we should do about that?
That's where I think it's called the subprime laws thing comes in at. I really feel like that the government should lighten up. I mean, yes, they probably made bad decisions in the past. Yes, they probably have made bad decisions in the past and everything like that. But the government, they do provide housing, but it's so many restrictions and qualifications and standards that you have to meet in order just to get the housing assistance. And I feel like if the government has the authority over everyone, if they have the say-so over everything, then they should be able to help out and provide housing. That's what my product was, a jumpstart house, to to be able to house 6 children, or I'm gonna start off by housing 6 children a year, and to help them and their families get on their streets. And all my resources will be coming from donations and everything like that. But if the government steps in and decides to help, then it will probably make people want to help even more, because it will probably make persuade the people to give back because the government is doing it and everything like that.
And I think the Jumpstart House is a grand idea, and I can see that as something that can work and should be put in place to help those that need a jump start. Many of the people that are in hotels that have jobs only need a jump start. They need somebody that have housing, apartments, to be able to open up the doors and say, I'll take a chance with you. I see your renter history has been a little shaky, but I am willing to take a chance with you. And maybe we can find some way to get private resource, or if our government, our churches want to get involved, and we more or less become a co-signer to those that need to come out of the motels and get into apartments. That's something that I'm thinking that we need to move in that direction. What's your thought on that?
I agree.
Thank you. This has been an interview with Nire Tabor, whereby Awesome Power Prayer founder, Evangelist Alma Jenkins. And to all of those that see this interview, if you think this is an interview that is worthy of you stepping up to do something about it, then make sure you contact Awesome Power Prayer at 678-437-2691. We're looking to hear from you. And we appreciate we don't have to stage children that are crying, that with runny nose and no clothes on, in order to get your heartbeat. Because the Bible tells us that you have done for the least of them, you have done it unto him. And because we are people that are compassionate by nature, we have love in our heart. We know that the greatest commandment that God commissioned us to love everybody. And so we can demonstrate that love by making that difference. If everybody reach out and try to help, we can change homelessness in Atlanta. Be blessed.